They don't miss a trick. Paparazzi filming their every move, but we're not talking about Hollywood elite. We're talking politicians whose own words could be used as ammunition against them. Joining me from Denver is Kelly Maher. She's a political video tracker for the website revealingpolitics.com. So what's the difference between this basically hunting and tracking someone down, Kelly, and the everyday press gaggle looking for the soundbite of the day?
Well, I think that, interestingly enough, in this marketplace of ideas, the barrier to entry to becoming a citizen journalist is almost nothing, because everyone is walking around with a smartphone that records video. So all you have to do in order to get the important clip that can change the election is show up at an event with your smartphone and wait for somebody to say what they actually think.
Conservative comedian Caleb Bonham went out to Colorado to gauge reaction to that.
The government has no place in our bedrooms.
No.
Okay. So you're in support of contraception?
Yes.
Government-funded contraception. Why do you believe the government should pay for what goes on inside your bedroom?
That's a very good question.
Indeed. Joining us now from Washington, Fox News analyst and radio talk show star Laura Ingraham.
That's like Jesse Waters' deal, right?
No,
Go in there and
he's a pretty sharp guy.
Yeah.
And you know, well, you should be in our bedroom, and then they want you to do that.
Yeah, well, Bill, nobody. The thing is, the reason these men on the street things or women on the street are so great is because most of the time, these activist types, people go, yeah, we love Obama, the economy's bad, but we love Obama. They don't really ever engage with people who disagree with them, right? It's always the echo chamber. So they're very ill-equipped to answer any of these questions, and they really haven't thought much about it, I don't think.
You know, it's interesting, though. I didn't think that President Obama would go back to the war on women deal.
At Revealing Politics, we're very careful to follow the law, and with this Romney video specifically, although it was an impolitic way to say it, frankly, this is a message that Romney has put out several times.
And you say follow the law. We know that in Florida specifically, where this was recorded in Boca Raton, is a two-party state, which means each person who's being recorded has to know they're being recorded if they're recording the audio.
Meanwhile, when will Democrats stop blaming former President George W. Bush for the current administration's problems? Well, according to former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, never.
All of a sudden, this man gets up and says, so how long are you people going to blame the previous administration? And I said, forever.
Madeleine Albright, I have to get your reaction to this, Dick, because I think you'll laugh. Madeleine Albright was talking about who should be blamed for what's going wrong in the country. Let's listen.
I am president of the Truman Foundation, and I was in Missouri speaking on behalf of the President Truman and the foundation. And so I kind of assumed it was a Democratic audience. And I was saying many things about the previous administration, some of which I said here. And all of a sudden this man gets up and says, so how long are you people going to blame the previous administration? And I said, forever.
Well, it's kind of hard to hear, but I said forever.
Yeah.
We can blame the previous administration forever. I actually expect better from Madeleine Albright. I'm actually a little surprised about that.
Well,
it just seems so
weak. I
understand
that there are plans afoot, Laura, to rename the San Andreas fault Bush's fault.
That's a really bad joke, even for you.
Welcome back. Time for What Now? Speaking at an Obama rally last week in Colorado, former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright said Democrats should blame President George W. Bush forever for the country's current problems. Hugo, 68% of Americans believe President Bush deserves a great or moderate amount of blame for the economy. 52% said the same of President Obama.
Democrats will blame Bush forever. You're going to hear and see the video for yourself.
So how long are you people going to blame the previous administration? And I said, forever.
Washington Examiner chief political correspondent Byron York joins us. Was she serious or was she trying to be funny?
You know, there are some jokes that are true, and I think this is one joke that is true.
There are a lot of Democrats who are still in the blame Bush mode for the economy. We heard Madeleine Albright just a couple of weeks ago still talking about that. And so you think that the president might actually be moving away from that kind of argument?
Well, I hope that we go beyond blaming President Bush. The fact is, I wish that, look, President Bush can take responsibility for the mess that we're in, but you know what? Dr. Martin Luther King said a generation ago, actually 2 generations ago, that we would be right here because our priorities are all messed up.
You look at the people who support Obama. They are ill-informed. They've gotten the participation trophies their whole lives, and they just want the hip, cool guy, and that's what they're voting for, is the hip, younger, cooler guy. And that, I think that was really evident at that campaign event that they did yesterday in Ohio, at Ohio University.
Oh, wait. Before we get to that, let me take a quick break because I don't want to interrupt this one.
This is good eating.
This is all of the Obama supporters, all in college. How well informed are they? Do they even know who Benghazi is? Of course, you know, the guy who's... Benghazi, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Old Ben. Crazy old Ben. All right, here is speaking of Obama rallies, here is an Obama rally crowd in Ohio. They were asking these Ohio State University students that are supporting Barack Obama, what do you know about Benghazi? Listen.
So what do you guys think of the situation in Benghazi?
I have no idea.
You guys know who Ambassador Christie is?
No.
What do you think was the cause for the attacks on the ambassador?
Well, I think really the Republicans did it.
What do you girls think of the consulate attacks in Benghazi? Are you aware of the consulate attack in Benghazi?
It's like good old John.
No, I'm not aware of the consulate attacks.
I'm not really sure about that.
What do you guys think of how the president handled the consulate attacks in Benghazi?
Me neither. I'm really uninformed about that issue,
And I'm sure everything else.
Sorry, I can't really help you with that, but
Wow.
But if you want to talk to me about birth control, contraception, or college loans.
It comes down to foreign policy for me.
How do you think the president handled the situation in Benghazi?
Okay, stop. You have to see this video. Is this posted at glenbeck.com? Send this over to the Blaze. Sure. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is on the front page of the Blaze.
Yeah.
You have to watch this thing. It's hard to listen to on the radio, but it is stunning when you're watching it and you're seeing these college students talk about something as important as what's happening in the Middle East, and they have no idea what it even is.
Obama supporters were asked at a rally at an Ohio university what they knew about the attacks on our consulate in Benghazi. Their responses might surprise you.
Are you aware of the consulate attack in Benghazi?
It's like good old John.
no, I'm not aware of the consulate attacks.
I'm not really sure about that.
What do you guys think of how the president handled the consulate attacks in Benghazi?
Wow. Can you believe that? After all of the coverage that this has gotten.
Yeah,
and
actually,
these kids
I
are
can.
saying that. Well, joining us now is the man who conducted the interview at Ohio University. His name is Caleb Bonham, and he's the editor-at-large of RevealingPolitics.com. I'm surprised listening to that these people were so uninformed. These are college students who go to a good school and other adults. What was your reaction?
Oh, you know, when I was at the university, I was very surprised to hear that these students were unaware of the events overseas. I was even more surprised when I asked some of the older generations their thoughts on the events, and they were unable to come up with a very articulate answer. I was very surprised at the results I found.
You could draw a lot of conclusions from this video. I mean, one, you could say, look, these people are worried about their pocketbook, they're worried about their health care. But to me, I guess my question to you is, what does this tell you more about, the media or the electorate? Because depending on what you watch, what you read, what you listen to, you might not be hearing about Benghazi.
Well, I don't know how you wouldn't be hearing about Benghazi. It's been on almost every news station. It's been in the papers. It's been the topic of discussion throughout the 2 debates that have been held already. It's dominated the news cycle. It was a massive event in our foreign policy. And for me to show up at a event, an Obama rally, to speak with individuals that are politically inclined. They're individuals that took time out of their day to go to a political rally in the height of election season. And I asked them a very simple question, and it was very shocking to hear that they were unable to come up with some answers.
So I imagine then you informed them as to what happened. What was their reaction then?
Well, I kind of discussed a little bit of it. There's not a whole lot that I could inform them on. I simply said, hey, this is kind of what happened. You're not aware of the consulate attacks in Benghazi? You don't know who Ambassador Chris Stevens is? Said, well, this is what happened. We, on September 11th, we were attacked, and just got their thoughts. But the original intent of the question was to ask these individuals if they were aware of the spark that incited the violence in Libya. To see if they would maybe toe the party line and recite the idea that this was a spontaneous uprising due to a YouTube video. And I was simply speechless when I asked that question, and they hadn't heard of the event at all. Wow. So I didn't really spend a whole lot of time explaining the event after that.
All right. Caleb Bonham, we've got to leave it there. It's an aptly named website. It's called revealingpolitics.com. I had the same conversation with a babysitter, a college babysitter of ours, just last week.
Caleb, thank you.
We have been talking all morning on Varney and Company about the enthusiasm factor. The pictures from last night show Romney has it, and President Obama probably doesn't have it, at least not last night.
Enthusiasm, there's no energy. Obama's crowds, I mean, even with Bruce Springsteen and Jay-Z, he filled only half an arena last night.
Joining us now is Wall Street Journal columnist Peggy Noonan, to whom we always extend a great welcome. Peggy, welcome.
Good morning, Stuart. Great to be here.
All day long, we've been saying that the enthusiasm factor could shift the election. And I've been saying it seems that Governor Romney has a great deal of enthusiasm, a surge of enthusiasm and support for him. I say it really could swing the election, and you say?
I think it could. I think it's very important. You see the crowds that are out there for him. I mean, I think it's fair to say that some of President Obama's people are fired up, but his big gatherings, his rallies are taking place in some big venues that they can't quite fill. Romney is pulling them out, 30,000 here, 28,000 there. There's a lot of passion going on.
I have one more piece. I want you to take a listen to a Democrat from a Colorado representative. But before you do, take a deep breath, because this is really going to make your head explode when you listen to what he had to say about the Colorado massacre and Obamacare. Listen.
Stop the discrimination against people with prior illnesses or injuries, or say some of the folks who were shot in the theater, they would be uninsurable now that they've had that wound, but under the Affordable Care Act, they can't be discriminated against starting in 2014.
Governor, that was Democrat Representative, I believe it's Ed Perlmutter.
Well, that is absolutely disgusting that he would so politicize such a tragedy, this evil act of the gunman just massacring innocent people. He would politicize this at a time like this. I think is disgusting. He has no class. Furthermore, on the merits, argue on the merits, this idea that there's no way that they would be insurable had it not been for this government takeover of 1/6 of our economy via Obamacare, the mother of all unfunded mandates. This guy, his comments are out of whack. They're inappropriate. They're disgusting.